a Twitch, I'm a Mari, I'm a Sis, I'm Tamara, I'm a has-been, I'm a blank. Tia and I look the same.
Oh my.
Welcome to a whole new pod. It's been a while since we had a song intro, right?
That's some bars.
That's what I do when I have...
Did you come up with that?
Hell yeah.
Wow.
When I have, 5 to 10 minutes at work where I'm like, I got a slight idea. Some of those lyrics, not the best, but...
What song was that a playoff of?
I'm a bitch, I'm a lover.
Yes.
To make the joke a little bit clearer.
Yes.
That's what we do here, or I should say that's what my co-host...
Jacob Telejohn likes to spell out.
Keeping him on his toes, because usually myself, Lucas Melby, I introduce myself first.
Yeah.
And this is, of course, a whole new podcast all about Disney Channel original movies.
DCOMs, your favorite.
Are they my favorite? I don't know. But this is our 60th episode.
Wow.
Keep going further and further, and now I think we're at least halfway through all of them that currently exist at the time of this recording.
Really?
So that sounds pretty good to me.
Halfway there. It only took 2.5 years. 3 years? I don't even know.
Yeah, I think we're coming up on 3 years.
That's pretty wild.
Maybe? I don't know. Time's a blur, and a lot of these DCOMs are a blur to
Oh my. He's
come up front as I sometimes do in this
intoxicated.
episode. I'm not feeling the best this week.
Oh.
Kind of just out of it, and I still took plenty of notes, but this might be a little more broad strokes of the story, because the movie we watched today, Twitches, simultaneously there's kind of a lot happening, but then for large parts, there's not a whole lot happening. Maybe you want to say that some of the, not quite behind the scenes, but just some of the maybe Easter eggs in this movie, or what we theorized about behind the scenes stuff for this movie is more interesting maybe than the actual movie itself.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some fun little aspects. If you are familiar with Sister Sister.
Yes, as we get into the movie, Twitches, as you could maybe not, you couldn't guess right away without seeing the cover, but once you see the cover, you can see the etymology is twin and witch.
Witches.
Combined.
Twitches.
And it is starring Tia and Tamara from Sister Sister.
That's right.
But in my research, finding out that Sister Sister ended in
6 years prior to this
1999,
movie.
so 6 years before this movie.
And
in this movie, Tia and Tamara, minor spoilers, play 21-year-olds, but they were actually 27 while playing these roles.
That's something we point out a lot, the age gap between what individuals usually play.
Yeah, it's always higher, but it's interesting in this situation because even for these characters to be 21, it's kind of outside of the target demographic of Disney Channel.
Yeah, to play college students as opposed to
and
high
I don't
school
even
or
know
middle school.
I don't know how popular Sister Sister really was.
I think it was a big deal.
It ran for multiple, 5 or 6 seasons.
It wasn't set to that, whatever that goofy number is of episodes.
No, well, it was on normal television. It was never on Disney Channel, as far as I know. The only connection to Disney is it was on its first 2 seasons were on ABC.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't know when Disney bought ABC, but Disney does currently own ABC. And then it went over to the WWB. Sorry, the WB, not the WWF, brother.
Oh my god.
So I kind of theorized that maybe there would be some kids who enjoyed Sister Sister. Maybe it was like showing on Nick at Night because they would show sitcoms on Nick at Night. But of course, that still does not connect to Disney. So I just don't understand. This movie seems to have been made by fans of Sister Sister. There's a lot of similarities that I was able to pick up just even through reading Wikipedia articles real quick.
Yeah.
But Twitches is based on a book series. And I can't say how accurate the Sister Sister similarities that show up in Twitches are to the book series. Because I don't care that much.
So there are 2 of these movies.
Yes, we will get a sequel to Twitches called Twitches, TOO. Yes, in 2007. So
a couple more years down the line.
Yeah, we're getting them at the Halloween Town sequel pace.
Yeah, it would have been something interesting to see if this came out, in October. I'm guessing it did.
Probably October, or it was the last movie of 2005, so somewhere in the October to December range.
Yeah.
I would think it would be around Halloween based on when this movie takes place.
Yeah.
And let's just get into it, because it starts off, we get a big kind of fast exposition info dump. It's taking place, we're told, in the magical world of Coventry. Which looks like bootleg Hogwarts. Horrible CGI.
Yeah, it's basically like a castle, but it's just on like a giant cliff, and that's all it is.
And that's mostly what we see of Coventry in the whole movie, because it's being
surrounded or engulfed by the darkness.
The darkness.
Yeah, the darkness.
And it's not cool darkness like in Kingdom Hearts. No, it's very different. We're being told about the birth of, on Halloween, twins Apollo, not Apollo, and Artemis.
Not Fowl.
No. I wanted an Artemis Fowl movie ever since I was reading those books as a kid, and then Disney finally made one, and they didn't even, well, because of COVID, but they probably did well not releasing that in theaters last year. Holy shit, that Artemis Fowl movie sucks ass. Anyways, back to the
really
Artemis.
Struck a chord.
In this movie, there's the narration giving, they're destined for blah, blah, blah. I wasn't really listening too much about it, but we're seeing some of that darkness that was coming up to the castle is now kind of a CG black smoke monster, kind of like in Lost, but looks worse, obviously. And it's moving through the halls of this castle.
Lost is a great show.
Yes. Controversial maybe for some people with how the show ended, but I think Lost is pretty great overall.
Top tier.
We're then not introduced by giving their names, but we first meet Karsh and Ileana.
Yeah.
Who
are those names synonymous in Greek or whatever or anything?
Not that I'm aware
of.
They mostly feel made up, but maybe there's some deep cut Greek mythology characters. I kind of wasn't sure if they were their parents at first, but they're kind of like their guardians.
Yeah, they watch over them. Yeah,
we should say Karsh is a man, Ileana is a woman.
Yes.
And they kind of have this odd couple banter, always snapping at each other dynamic. But overall, there was a couple instances where I thought they were a little funny, but mostly it's not even like cringy. It's just like, you tried, but it's not. Did we see the mother at all in this? Not at this point, so that's why I wasn't sure if they were their actual parents.
No, it was definitely hard to deter between if they were their parents
at this point, they're like, we gotta take the kids. Oh, let's go to what dimension? Oh, the purple one. Why the purple one?
The ninth one, yeah.
And then they go to what happens to be Earth.
Yes.
But they go to, as we'll find out later, maybe close to the same place because of where the twins end up geographically. But they drop off the twins at different hospitals. And, what a world of difference that could make. Cut to some opening credits. We're getting very much an attempt at maybe a Lord of the Rings. We're seeing a map of Coventry that they're panning over.
It looked exactly like the little map you might see in, I don't know, is that just the first one? Well,
it's not even like the credits, because like the first Lord of the Rings movie,
like in the actual book, they had the map like this.
And maybe these Twitch's books have maps of Coventry. I don't know. We're also seeing some drawings of magical shit, castles, a princess, one of Tia or Tamara, but with a moon necklace. And it's all, we'll find out, these are drawings done by Cameron, who is played by Tamara.
Correct.
And then we get the title card popping up 21 years later. So we're on the 21st birthday of the twins.
Fast forward.
And the words of that girl in the Proud Family, we're going to get crunk.
Oh no, the Zoe White girl?
Yeah.
Oh no. I've seen her as a meme now. Like, now I see that as like a meme.
Well, I mean, they're bringing the Proud Family back, so...
That is true.
Maybe it was brought back solely on memes.
Oh, man.
Alexandra goes by Alex, is played by Tia, and then Cameron, or Cam, is played by Tamara.
But, like, Alexandra was like wasn't it like a weird different name? Like, didn't her mother give her like a weird name? Wasn't it like a weird...
I don't know. I mean, are you talking about like the real name of Apollo and Artemis?
Yeah.
But they don't know that because they were brought to Earth. We assume now that they have been adopted. But so Cameron has really rich parents. They live not even just in like the suburbs. They live in this nice mansion in a gated community. They have a tennis court and a swimming pool
and a polar bear in the bedroom.
You know, rich people stuff.
Yes.
And then Alex is poor.
They try to set her up as like being poor, but it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't really feel like.
Well, I think herself is poor because her mom has died. I don't know if she knew her dad.
Yeah.
And she is living with her friend and her family.
Yes.
So maybe she doesn't have like that much money of her own, but like the apartment she lives in, it's obviously not a mansion, but it's not. Like I can't ever really perceive. I don't think there's ever been any Disney Channel original movie where we see a character living in squalor or anything.
Yeah,
they still got to build a set, and most of the sets, they're not going to spend it to make it look trashy.
Yeah.
There's kind of just more setup of, Alex is looking for a job, and that's how she's spending her birthday. She's got to take the bus, but Cameron, she's the rich girl. She's going to go shopping for her birthday.
Celebrate for a big birthday bash.
And their paths are crossing over. The bus is by Cameron's convertible that she's driving.
Yeah.
They're getting out at the clothing store.
But we also see the two guardians with them this whole time. Like they're one of them sitting right behind one of the girls on the bus. And the other one, I don't think we see right away.
Karsh and Ileana are giving little comments of, it's finally time. They're so special. And they're trying to use some magic to make them cross paths and notice each other. Yeah. Because it's a little comedic that they are not picking up on somebody that looks identical to them.
Like they walk right by each other, to get the girls in the store together, right? Like they're both, the one you said was looking for a job. So we see these now hiring, desperate.
No experience needed.
Yeah. So all these signs are like being magically put up in front of her by...
she's like, okay, I guess I'll go in there.
Yes. And then the other girl is in there shopping, for her birthday.
So yeah, it's this really upscale clothing boutique store. And as Alex, the poor girl, is applying for a job, one of the attendants comes up and says, here's your dress that you were asking for. Yes. So they get a little confusion. Yeah. But then Cameron comes over and takes the dress from her and doesn't even notice that they look the same.
No.
And Alex actually gets the job after some, I don't know, jokey,
funny
finagling.
Little,
And she's immediately put to work that day. And that's when she runs into her twin and they notice each other. And apparently this is exactly how the twins meet in Sister. That they're twins. Wild. Separated at birth. One goes to a single mom, and the other, who I think maybe also dies, and then the other lives with at least better off upper middle class or rich parents, one who owns a limousine company, and they meet at a clothing store. So it's like, was this in the book, or was this wrapped around and adapted into this to make it more sister-like?
Yeah.
It's... chicken or the egg? Who knows? Was sister first or the Twitches?
True. So, yes, when they meet, one of the sisters is like really freaking out, right? She's like not really into it. I think
they're both freaking out, but one, Cameron,
is
the rich
more excited.
One, is like, it's so cool. And they're like immediately putting together, could we be twins? Could we have been separated at birth? And it was maybe funny in a meta way of being like, this is the exact premise of Sister.
So that morning, though, like when they were waking up or whatever, and we were seeing like little like scans around like the bedroom, one of the sisters draws.
Cameron.
Yes. So one of the drawings that we see is, it looks like her, but it's not, because they wear these necklaces.
Mm-hmm. Alex has a moon.
Yes.
And Cameron
has like a sun.
Yes.
So in the drawing, the girl does not have a sun, which she should, and she has the moon. So that's how, we know she's having like these night visions of.
And some of them we're seeing that there's some magical stuff surrounding them. They're having premonitions. Mostly about when phones are about to ring.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And
she's say hi to your mom. What? Yes. My phone's ringing and it's my mom now.
Yeah, that was a fun little thing.
So Alex is scared of this situation, and she's running out of the store and like gets fired at the same time.
Yes.
Or whatever.
But she also like wore clothes out of the store, right? So then that one girl's like chasing after her, and then she has to pay for the clothes.
Yeah, maybe I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
But as they're running out, or she's running out, and Cameron's following her, she grabs her hand, and then
it doesn't stop, but it goes really slow.
Slows down. Oh, there's
yes
magic happening.
Magic.
And Karsh and Ileana are looking on, all happy with what is occurring, because...
yes, they love it.
Do you believe in magic?
Do you believe in magic? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Cut to Coventry. Yes. My notes here say their mom ? But yes, it is their mom who is named Miranda. We see her running through some bad CGI castle hallways.
Yes.
Running up to Thanatos, not Thanatos.
Not Thanos.
Who, especially players of the recent, I guess it's about a year old now, the great game Hades by Supergiant Games. There's a character, Thanatos. It's all Greek mythology related there.
Okay.
But this guy is played by Patrick Fabian, I believe his name is, who I mostly know from Better Call Saul, where he plays Howard Hamlin. And I honestly feel like he's the only good actor in this movie. His scenes almost exclusively happen in Coventry, that it's like...
Yes.
It's easy to believe that since so much of Coventry is CGI, that like he could have thought he was in a better movie than he was. But he's doing a good job being a slimy, evil kind of vizier or derp.
Yeah, and we don't know that yet. At this point.
No, we'll get later on of like he's kind of feeding false information to Miranda about the twins, and he's trying to find them, but for different reasons.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to mention it later, but like in the drawings that I mentioned that
oh yeah, we'll definitely get to that.
Okay.
That is an extremely important plot.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
So, but yeah, I think...
There's all these drawings.
Oh, yeah, what happens here is them using magic somehow signals to their mom that, like, oh, maybe the twins are out there, so then she sends Thanatos to look for the twins.
And the mother was also in one of the drawings that
the
girl did. So we kind of... The drawings were a way to introduce the characters without really kind of introducing the characters, I guess.
So since Alex got fired from the job, she kind of begrudgingly decides to go along with Cameron to catch up about... Speaking of... I want to make a reference to the Bella twins. Twin match?
Oh, man. That's going to hit with the audience.
Yeah, especially when I got to spell it out so much. And they drive off in her... Cameron's very nice
car.
I don't know if it's a BMW convertible.
We don't know cars, but
we definitely don't.
But she's like, oh, like, what is this? Is your car? Would you get this for? Or no, that happens. You get this
for your because they do mention. Oh, we got the same birthday, Halloween. Did you get this for your birthday?
No, for my 16th birthday.
And that's somehow better. Oh, rich people. Let's kill them all. And then as they're driving, they're doing some magic switching where they're switching their clothes.
Yeah, like, is that what you wanted to do? That's exactly what I wanted to do.
And then that causes a bicyclist who sees
run
them
into the back of a car and like flip over and die. Yeah.
Alex just is continuing. They get to her house and she's just continually impressed and amazed by how rich and crazy this girl's life is.
This is your house? This is your pool? And then there's like a maid there, I guess, who...
This is not my beautiful house.
There's two of you. Now I got to clean up after the both of you?
Yeah, the maid no-sells surprise about there being twins.
No, she hates it.
They go to Cameron's room and they're still experimenting with their magic, and they learn that they can do magic individually, which mostly doesn't really matter at all.
No, we really don't see it.
Because
I don't really remember any.
Cameron uses it and she opens a drawer, but it goes really slow. And it's, we must be more powerful.
If we do it together, it'll work much better. And then the door comes, or the drawer comes flying out and almost like kills them. Well, it
smashes and breaks apart on a wall.
Yeah.
So most importantly is they are best at using magic together.
They're stronger, yes, correct.
Actually, I guess there is two maybe moments where they use magic individually that matters. Alex is admiring Cameron's mystical drawings that we've talked about on her walls, and seeing like, this seems familiar to me.
She's like, it's a self-portrait? Oh, no, it can't be because she has my...
Why would you draw the wrong necklace?
Yeah, exactly. So they've been seeing each other, and this is, I think, also when they bring up again the drawing of the mother, but they obviously don't know who it is
she's so pretty.
Yeah. They're like, who's this? I don't know.
At some point, they're going into her closets because she's got two of them, but when they go through one of them, they're suddenly transported to Coventry.
Yeah, and I don't think they triggered it this time, did they?
Well, they had to. They just did it subconsciously too.
Okay.
Because seeing all the castle drawings, Cam says, I saw those in visions, and it's that they actually were there, and they've always known about it subconsciously.
So yeah, she has two different closets in the room. That's what it is. And like the one girl opens it up and like You have 2 closets, and yes.
And then there's a joke being like, wow, I didn't expect the closet to look like this on the inside.
And he's like, well, that's not my closet. And yeah, and then it's Coventry. It's Hogwarts in the flesh with no people.
So then Karsh and Ileana, the little onlooker, annoying people, pop up and give them the lowdown of like, yeah, you transported yourself here. You're magic.
Yes.
Also, your dad is dead.
Do you believe in magic? Is that the song that was played?
No, it's not the song.
I'm just trying to trigger it.
So we get some more info dumping, like your mom's alive, but your dad's dead. Your dad died.
Sacrifice his life, Harry Potter style. Love conquers all.
Yes. And that Coventry...
That's why you have the scars.
It's that under threat of darkness, and we need you to save it. And they're like, what? That's crazy. Let's get out of here. And then they walk away and he says, well, should we have told them that they were branded to die? Why would we tell them that? Womp, 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 womp,
so,
womp.
yes, every time they go here, we always see, this, dark fire clouds, surrounding, Coventry and stuff like that. So, they really like to establish that this darkness is like a fire cloud or whatever.
Speaking of fire, we see all of the help, the maid and, I don't know, butlers and whatnot at Cameron's house preparing for her birthday bash that night. And the plants that they're setting out all of a sudden burst into flames, and we see the evil darkness smoke cloud moving around, and it goes into her bedroom and
burns up some of the drawings and stuff like that. Not cool.
No, not cool at all.
Not cool.
Back in Coventry, Thantos is talking to Miranda, which is weird because I guess, when they're talking to Karsh and Ileana, they're being told, like, hey, don't be loud, because essentially at this point, Coventry is just the castle. So it's like there's 4 people that exist there. So if they're too loud, then they're going to be overheard by Thantos, probably.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And like you said, all the people that live in Coventry are just dead, basically. Or I don't know, are they in hiding? Or did they actually say they died?
They don't actually say specifically.
But we'll just say they're hiding, for...
Sure, nobody dies in Disney Channel.
No, you can't.
Thantos is talking to Miranda and is saying, like, hey, it's not safe for you to leave because you're the light that's protecting Coventry from darkness.
Yes.
So there's all this, lore that exists that probably...
It's more in the books.
Yeah, more spelled out in the books, but it's just always kind of just dumped out in this movie in a very awkward way.
It's presented in just a sense we're just going to say it. It's not really, it's not really...
And I'm fine with it.
Memorable.
I would have been happier if more focused on Coventry and that was kind of expanded on. But at the same time, the stuff that we see of Coventry looks so bad because they're never going to really put out the budget, at least maybe not in 2005, to make a good looking fantasy Disney Channel original.
Fair. I mean,
maybe we'll see how the next Halloween Town movie turns out looking.
Halloween Town, or even how the next Twitches, looks, to see if they do Coventry.
They break the
again.
bank on that.
Yeah.
Now we go to Alex's apartment so that we can see how the other side lives. So Cameron is kind of shocked with the not really that bad of conditions that she's living in. So it's all set up that, Cameron's the artsy. Well, they're both artsy, but Cameron is the drawer, whereas Alex is a writer. So, and then they throw out something like, I'm active with my art when the sun rises in the morning. Well, I'm active when I'm writing at night when the moon's out. And, shut the fuck up.
Well, I mean, but it coincides with their necklaces, which Mima. So, there's a symbol. You said,
which Mima. My Mima told me about this.
Yeah, but their mother, and it's a symbol we see often in Coventry. It's on the ground. There's a big symbol. The mom, I think, has a necklace, but it's the moon and the sun combined. It's a combined symbol.
But since she's a writer, it's her memory as a child is very well spelled out in these stories that she thought she was just creating, but she was pulling from her subconscious.
She has a hell of a memory as a day old. Were they supposed to be a day old?
Yes. Literally, probably less than a day old.
Yes, and she has this whole memory of this place.
So we're seeing the recreation of what happened as their dad was setting them out to be saved by the darkness. And it's literally Harry Potter, just darkness is the stand-in for Voldemort instead of I don't know how he gets saved. The love, the scar on his face. It's the sun and moon necklaces on the kids that fights off darkness.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
Again, was Twitches before Harry Potter, or is this version of Twitches just taking cues from Harry Potter already existing? Man. I don't care. Hey, hot take, I'll say Harry Potter's better than Twitches.
That's fair.
Yeah, you think so? As they're going through some of this stuff, we're getting some more kind of twin humor of, we're saying the same stuff and we're finishing each other's sentences.
They like to do that a lot. And I would imagine, maybe kind of remember that's what they do in Sister as well.
I'm sure.
Finish each other's sentences.
Finish each other's sandwiches.
Oh, wow.
I think maybe some of the plot dump also happens, and I just bring it up because it's a very weird location where it's like a business park where it mostly seems to just be like a grass area in between two like office buildings. But then there's a bunch of mini yachts or motor boats just sitting around on like grass and cement. And then there's also statues of cows.
Yes, there's these cows. But what's interesting about the cows is, and we've seen this in, other DCOMs and stuff, or you just see it in like children's scary movies, like where the eyes on just like things that shouldn't be alive move. So like the eyes on these cows are like moving. I wasn't paying
close enough attention to know whose eye that was. It's either Thantos or Karsh or Ileana. I mean, it's one of those three characters, because there's only so many characters in this movie.
I think they were supposed to be like bad eyes, like they're supposed to be spooky. Spooky eyes.
It was the Eye of Sauron.
And it was like all the cows. It wasn't just like, like one or, but like it like.
I mean, I only saw 2 statues of cows.
Yeah, there are a few of them.
So then they go to a burger restaurant where Alex's friend works.
The one that she lives with.
Exactly.
Yes.
And she's seeing this twin, and she's immediately like, man.
She's jelly.
Exactly.
Like
she's jealous.
There's obvious jealousy there between the two.
Because Alex makes
and this
comment.
Is still day one. So you got to keep in mind.
This whole movie is day one.
It takes place in like the matter of 8 hours, basically. Pretty whole much. Film.
Maybe 12. So Alex does introduce her and says, this is my friend Lucinda. We're basically sisters. But Lucinda's like, focusing on like sisters. Because I don't know, she's mad that she is an actual sister. And then it's also that she's rich. They learned that Cameron lives in Waverly. The
Wizards of
Waverly.
Waverly Place.
I don't know if that is supposed to be a connection, but that'd be pretty
It's
dumb?
Almost too difficult for it to not be, like, related.
Well, because it could be, I guess,
it's maybe
Wizards
just like
of Waverly Place.
Right? I don't know.
Clearly, Waverly's probably like a play on, like, Beverly for like Beverly Hills. But that still doesn't rule out that Wizards of Waverly Place could reference this movie.
Yeah.
My question is the DCOM, the Wizards of Waverly Place movie, do they go to a tropical island?
Oh no.
I hope not.
Oh no.
Here they're experimenting some more with magic. They're like making a glass disappear, but then there's a annoying nerdy guy talking on his cell phone.
He's slurping.
And the guy is also making fun of Waverly, but then they make his pop explode on him and he runs away.
So but the way they do this is like they're kind of basically coming up with like spells off the dome. They're just like randomly coming up with like these ryming spells, and they're
just
like
say some stuff together that rhymes and you can do magic. And of course, this is where we get the name drop of Twitches. And then the other one's like, what? Twin and witches. Oh, that's so good. And then Karsh and Ileana over here. And Ileana starts going, go Twitches, go Twitches, go.
Go Twitches.
I hate it.
And the dude has like ketchup all over his face or something because
of the pop exploded?
Yeah, I don't know.
There seems to be some weird thing where a lot of their magic is mainly focused on men. So sometimes it maybe just affects Karsh because he's also a man.
Oh, man.
So then we get a funny magic montage that has a real song that me and Jacob couldn't find out, and it's not listed on IMDb for the soundtrack, and I didn't want to put in the legwork. But it's a real song. We don't know the words.
We recognize it.
That's why we're like, was it Do You Believe? No, because that was in Now You See It.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It's some silly song. They stop some paint from hitting
falling on them. So yes, the painter. So this time it's not like they stopped time. They literally just stopped the paint from falling midair.
But then it stops being stopped, so it hits Karsh. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, the man.
But really, the standout magic moment is they are randomly they were at like a dock and they're walking back from the pier
and like these three
sailors.
Dudes, I don't know. There was like these three construction workers.
No, they were
they sailors?
They were sailors. That's why they were at the docks, is because they're like crab fishermen or something.
They're like catcalling.
Yeah, they're catcalling just like if they were construction workers, but they made them sailors for some reason.
So
they're not catcalling the Twitches.
No,
it's just two girls who were like jogging again at a pier. So it's like, did they go down to the pier and then jog
down and back? Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, that's misogynistic. So they do a spell, and then they put them all in dresses.
But then
so then it's like, well, that's misogynistic. But then it's like, is it funny? That's like,
they're kind of into it though. They like start like
one of them is into it, the other one is not.
What the hell?
And it's like, oh, I guess it's funny because the guys are wearing dresses.
But now also their guardian dude is in the dress, a gorilla dress.
Yeah, Karsh for some reason, who's
weird.
like 50 feet away, is put into a gorilla costume and a dress.
Like a tutu on them or something.
So it's funny that all of their magic is just like articles. A lot of it's articles of clothing related.
Yeah.
It's not like we turned him into a gorilla. We just put a gorilla costume on him because he takes off the mask.
Yes.
So it's goofy. Then they're back at Alex's department. No, back at Alex's apartment.
There we go.
Something happens and they get attacked by the darkness smoke monster.
Yeah.
They kind of hold it off by holding hands, causing some light to shine.
Yes, yeah. That's a key thing. They're always stronger together. They got to be together to,
they run away from it.
Their full potential.
Eventually go through a door and they're transported into Coventry.
Yes. And so this time they're like, oh, how did we get here? And then their guardians are like, well, You did it that time. We didn't save you that time. And she's like, yeah, like we were both scared. I wanted to, protect my sister. So then I just thought of a safe place. And now we're here.
We can't just have it be a Deus Ex Machina that they transported to Coventry. We gotta, dive into their subconsciouses to justify it. But that's okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Eliana and Karsh kind of give the laydown. It's like, hey, you gotta defeat darkness. This is all like really bad and serious.
Yeah.
And then Cameron's like, fuck this. I thought it was cool that I had a witch sister, but now that I gotta like fight darkness.
Fight the demon darkness, dude.
I'm scared. So it was kind of it's an inversion of the relationship at the start where Alex didn't really want to have anything to do with Cameron.
Yeah.
But now Cameron is the one that's scared and Alex is all in about like, yeah, fuck it. Let's fight darkness. Why is my twin running away? So this is, of course, around 2/3 of the movie where now we're getting the fight that needs to be resolved for them to save the day in the end. This is where I really pointed out, or really stood out to me, that it's like, who gives a fuck about Coventry? Because as far as we know, there's 4 people that exist there.
Yeah.
It's Ileana, Karsh, Thantos, and Miranda.
Yes.
And also we see a spooky statue that maybe is alive at one point.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, we gotta save this place, but who cares if it doesn't really affect our dimension or whatever?
I just want to mention that statue thing again. That might have been like the coolest effect in this whole thing.
Probably.
Gave off some like Harry Potter vibes, or I don't know. It was actually kind of cool.
So Halloween Town 1, that's all like, well, it's not even, well, there are people of Halloween Town that are being turned dead or zombified or whatever. But it's still like there's a threat facing the people of Halloween Town.
Like
it's not even like a giant town, but it's still more than all of Coventry.
Yeah, but like we do see at the end, like this Coventry is like a large area.
Yeah, but we still don't see any people.
No.
My guess
it is weird.
At one point they say to Thantos, spoiler alert, he's a bad guy and is basically darkness.
Yes.
Kind of in a Kingdom Hearts sense. That he has stolen people's souls, but at the end, we only see 2 people's souls get returned. Spoiler alert, they're characters we already know. They're Ileana and Karsh. So we don't even see, like, a handful of, like, the castle attendants being returned.
Yeah,
like, we spent all our money on Tia and Tamara. We can't get extras for this.
Yeah, no, it was kind of goofy how they didn't establish it being like a legitimate. They're supposed to be like the princesses, right, of like this place kind of thing?
Basically. So the stakes seem very low unless we kind of build up this imagination of our own for this world to be like...
So yeah, like you see him in like one of the drawings too. You see his face in the shadows. I don't know if that has happened yet or
it
that's
has
coming
not
up.
happened yet.
It's coming up. Okay.
Because they get back and they're having the falling out. Cameron drives away, leaves Alex behind. We're getting a song called Rush by Allie and AJ.
That was a good song. I was digging that.
And it is a very Disney Channel sad montage.
Yeah.
They're looking at the sun going down and the moon coming up. Cut to commercial break.
Yes.
And then it is time for Cameron's 21st birthday.
Big birthday
So
bash.
we are getting a big party that probably, it's implied that there's alcohol at, because
It's
why wouldn't there be at a
baby.
21st birthday party?
21, baby.
So getting kind of crazy for a Disney Channel movie.
Yeah.
Alex has a falling out with her friend Lucinda because they were going to go to the party, but now
She made her like a birthday cake, but then she's like, "Oh, like how you gonna treat your friend?"
Yeah,
that made you
Alex is
birthday
all
cake?
down because Cameron ran away.
Yes.
Lucinda's kind of already wanting to be mad at her because she's jealous that she has the magic twin sister.
But she still made her a cake, but now she's not appreciative of her cake that she made her or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all pretty silly.
Drama llama.
Twitches, am I right?
Yeah.
I'm very happy I was able to get that in there.
Big.
Twitches be spelling.
Like Corey Feldman.
Hey, Corey Feldman's had a rough life.
Yeah, that's true.
So Alex is like, fuck this, I'm going to use my powers to go to Coventry.
Well, yeah, she goes into her bedroom, right? And then I think this is where she sees the drawing that she did.
No.
No? Still not yet?
Because Alex is not the drawer. She goes to Coventry. This is where she sees her mom, but she's trying to be secret. This is where we see the magic statue.
Yes.
Spies her. Turns like, yo, she's over there.
She's behind the pillar.
And it just comes out of nowhere, but it is one of the cooler visuals in the movie.
It was fun.
So then she's reunited with her mom, Miranda.
And they're crying.
Nice little moment.
Real tears.
Absolutely real tears.
They were real.
Grade A actresses.
They were real tears. They were thinking of dead puppies.
Because it's 21 years, and
Yeah.
the mom even thought maybe they were dead at some point.
Reunited, and it feels so good.
Cameron she's sad at her party for, I don't know, reasons, and she walks away. And then her adoptive mom comes over and talks to her.
Well, not before her adoptive father's like, okay, you're like a real man. You can
we haven't
do
really
this.
set up that even she has a father, but he's
like comedic relief.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
very
God.
dopey.
Yes.
He falls over all the time. He sprays water in his face out of a water.
There was one scene in the very beginning when they're playing tennis where he tries to jump over the tennis net and he just eats shit. I
find that relatable because I probably would do that trying to jump over a tennis
broke his
net.
head.
So yeah, her adoptive mom's coming over and she's like, at some point she had learned that she had a twin that Cameron wasn't telling her about. So she's like, you sure this is your twin? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Also,
trust me, mommy. It's my twin.
She's like, oh, did you not want to tell me because you were worried about like me being sad because I'm not like your real mom or whatever?
Yes. And she's like, no, that's not it. And she's like, well, honey, like it's okay to like love other people. Love is infinite. And like we hear that line a couple more times.
And then
Love
Cameron's like,
infinite.
also, yeah, we're witches and we're from a different universe and our mom is a witch. And
You're
our dad
drinking
is
too
dead.
much, honey.
And she says, oh, you haven't said that since you were a kid.
Yeah.
What? I did? But it's all real.
It is real. Real deal.
And she says, oh, yeah, you used to draw faces in darkness. So tell John, you've been wanting, since we started,
this is it.
tell us about
happens.
the face in the darkness.
Yeah, so this is when she runs up to her bedroom. This is when she's looking in her closet and finds like this old scrapbook of all the stuff that she did.
So fortunately, all of the drawings that were burned by the shadow cloud did not go to find the scrapbook she had in her closet.
She's in the scrapbook, but then this is where she sees him in the drawing.
But
in
it's
the darkness.
so stupid because she hasn't seen Thantos before. So
No.
she's taking this picture being like, this is the bad guy, but it's a reveal to us, to the audience, but not to the actual character.
They have seen the darkness, though, before, right?
They have seen the darkness.
So, but he's like kind of coming out of it. And this is when her adoptive mother comes in and sees...
Because darkness appears to come to get her.
The darkness is in her room trying to get her. And this is where her mother comes in and it runs away.
Not really clear what happened. Oh, actually, no, it is.
She makes a comment to her mother, or adoptive mother, Mom, are you magic
Do you believe
too?
in magic?
Yeah.
You gotta kick it up.
Gotta kick it up.
But it's also funny that where she finds that picture is in a scrapbook of like fun memories, but then it's just like, here's scary darkness
creepy
man.
darkness man hidden in here.
I wanted to save this one in my childhood scrapbook.
Well, see, if all the pictures got burnt up, then she would have been screwed. We would have just never known. Then the movie would have never finished. We wouldn't have known who was bad or not. So it had to happen.
In Coventry, Thantos goes and talks to Miranda and Alex to say, hey, we need the twins to defeat the darkness. So we're still seeing him playing Miranda as being like, hey, we also learn at some point that Thantos is their uncle. So I think he marries their mom, but it's like a brother-in-law situation. So it's totally cool.
It's cool. It's cool.
So he leaves, and it coincides with shit starting to explode at Cameron's party. Like, literally, there's balloons and lights.
Yes, they have like these
up.
Lanterns, like these sky lanterns or something.
That are pumpkins and stuff.
Yeah, they were blowing up. And like the parents were just kind of playing it off like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Because like earlier, like when like they came back to the house, all the flowers were like, you know, burned up. And she's like, yeah, they're taking this really like to the next level, like this Halloween theme.
Because Halloween's all about burnt plants.
Yeah, so now they're just blowing stuff up and it's extra spooky. And
so Karsh and Ileana, they'd already been kind of sneaking around the party, but now they appeared to tell Cam that, hey, she's like, oh, she's gonna, the darkness is killing my friends. It's like, no, he's here to get you. You need to run.
Yes.
But then as she's running away, the darkness consumes Karsh and Ileana. Oh no.
Yeah.
They're gone. Even though I've already spoiled that they're not gone in the end.
Karsh has opened up a portal in the bedroom.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that, you're trying to set me up for my joke of like, I opened up a portal in the bedroom, if you know what I'm saying.
That's right.
So Thantos pops back into Coventry to say, hey, Miranda, you know what? It's bad because Cameron, she sided with darkness, and she's bad.
Like I don't know. It was weird. So yeah, he was supposed to be going.
He's still scheming.
Lying. So like why would he say that though? Does he think that he killed her?
No, but he's just.
It's really dumb because literally like,
he's trying to set up a situation of if she does then appear in Coventry, they should kill her.
Yes, okay, yes, you're right.
But haha, Cameron got there first.
I beat you here 5 minutes beforehand.
I threw that shit from outside the room.
Yeah.
So
she's there. She's like hiding out of sight, and she's like, "We got you."
And they say,
"We got you."
They serve up some twin justice by going, "Whatever, loser," together, and they're doing some cool. What did they?
Gestures. Yeah, they did like L7 weenie. It was like W. It was like witches.
I didn't see it myself. So
loser.
And Jacob making the hand motions to me is not going to play well on the audio podcast either.
It was fun. I liked when they did it.
Definitely, I'm sure something they do in Sister all the time.
Yeah.
So the mom, I think maybe also with them, they use magic to tie up Thantos. And
yes, they tie him up with like some just a sheet.
They also use magic to remove his gloves, and it reveals
the sun on one,
like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, to that one Nazi guy. Burn marks from their necklaces to be like, oh, you were evil. And then again,
so until his gloves were off, he's still like defending himself. Like, no, I would never. He was my brother. I loved him.
He's a schemer.
He's the
best part of this movie.
And then as soon as they remove the gloves, he's like, fuck him. Yes, he had everything. He had everything and didn't.
Yeah, he gives a whole monologue. Yes, I killed my brother.
He didn't appreciate
He took everything
anything
for granted. He's a fucking asshole.
Exactly. He's like, I love you. I love you.
So, you can kind of fill in the details of being like, he's like a Scar from the Lion King type character.
So then now the curtain's like coming off of him. He's escaping and stuff and going all crazy.
Well, he doesn't even, he just becomes darkness to slip out.
He does.
From,
he slips out of the,
And then he's just like, like my notes says, haha, you can't beat me.
Yeah.
Because the mom, she's the light. She tries to push back the darkness, but her powers have gone.
He's drained her dry.
And then it's a darkness versus light battle.
They say Becky McFeary.
They kick it up. They say Si se puede.
Si se puede.
So the darkness starts to consume Miranda.
Yes.
But the girls are holding their hands. Because they make up with each other to be like, I'm so happy you're here. Oh, I'm so glad you're my sister.
You're my sister.
Si se puede.
Sister. Si se puede. Becky McFeary.
So the CG... Top-notch bad now. A lot of shit flying around. It all looks terrible.
Yeah, he's above them trying to get at him. But
and in very Kingdom Hearts fashion, they come to the realization that the opposite of darkness
is
not
love.
light.
It's love.
It's love.
What is
I
love?
learned that Kingdom Hearts is not
Baby,
darkness.
don't hurt me.
It's light.
Don't hurt me no
Makes
more.
about as much sense as that.
So he's like, he's like yelling at him like, oh, the darkness is going to consume you. They're like, well, like we have love, which is infinite. So that whole, line, love is infinite, comes back into place, and they're Bakey McFear, and then they like just beat him.
Well, they're saying, oh, my parents love me. My
Yes.
other parents love me.
And you like the
my
souls,
grandparents.
right? Like all the souls of all these people are like coming into play.
They're doing some Goku spirit bomb shit right here.
Yes.
And they end with, I have a sister that loves me. Sister,
And she's like,
sister.
I have a sister. And then
I have a sister too.
their
Your
bodies-
birthday's Halloween.
Yeah. And then, so now they have like this big glow, the love, right?
And it spreads out,
And it
clears out the castle, clears
defeats
out all of Coventry.
all of Coventry. So yes, this is when we see
There's
the
one
mass.
cottage. There's people
one
out there.
cottage.
That might just be where Liana and Karsh live.
Oh, that's possible.
Because they are returned. Their souls are returned. Nobody
Yes.
else's souls we see are returned.
No.
Karsh and Ileana pop out. They make some comment about, like, we're an on and off couple. And then they're talking about, like, moving into Earth. And they're like, oh, this universe is too expensive for us. And talking about chicken wings and cake.
Chicken wings.
I'm not going to explain the jokes.
That's okay.
So then they all, oh, yep, the day is saved. They go to the after party. So everybody's cleared out of Cameron's birthday party.
Everybody's already cleaning up, so it's not like fun. Like they really didn't get to enjoy the
Well,
party.
they're all eating cake.
Oh, that is true, and cookies.
Even like Miranda, the mom from Coventry's
pumpkin
there.
cookies. Oh, was she?
Yep. She was eating cake.
Okay.
But they don't really have like an extra special moment for her because
No.
they know where the real money's at, because the final line of the movie, their sisters are sitting by each other and they go Twitches, go Twitches, go. It's her birthday.
It's her
birthday.
But and it comes out of nowhere because they're just randomly sitting there on the couch, and then it's like they're synced up.
And I'm sure
They're
they
in it.
say it's our birthday or something, and sister.
And then
too.
it like does like a fade out pan shot, right?
And then
Of
we
them
get a
sitting.
superimposition of their like amulets coming together to make the sun
the
and
logo
moon
symbol
thing.
thing.
And that was
That's Twitches. No
Yeah.
freeze frame,
no freeze frame.
just the panel.
And it was kind of exhausting, but it's one of those situations where it's like, maybe I just wasn't having the best day.
It started like it started so quick. I think I don't know. I feel like a situation like this, like the
it's
meeting.
like we want to have a fantasy movie, but we more want to have a Tia and Tamara movie.
Yeah, no, I mean like they basically met each other within the first 5 minutes, right?
Maybe like 10. But it's like, oh, here's all this plot dump of Coventry.
Yeah.
All right, but now we want to just see Tia and Tamara.
Yeah, that's basically what the whole movie was. It was just them together doing sister things.
And I guess, again, if there really was a demographic of Disney Channel fans who were really excited about this movie,
That's what they would
I think
have
it had
wanted,
like
though.
a decent TV rating. So I guess some people, because after Sister, I don't think Tia and Tamara, I think maybe
Did
one of them did a
much.
little more acting than the other, but they weren't blowing up the charts or the silver screen or anything like that. Maybe this was celebrated as a big comeback for Tia and Tamara. But yeah, after the last couple movies, this is definitely better than the Proud Family movie, better than Life is Rough.
Yeah, no, this is definitely like we're starting to trend hopefully upward. I don't know what's next.
But in a way, I might, and I'm not a Halloween Town fan, but I might say it's better than the second Halloween Town. But I think I like the other Halloween Towns more.
Okay.
But now I'm trying to remember if I didn't actually say I liked the second Halloween Town movie more than the
best.
first one.
Oh,
No, I
no.
liked Halloween Town High the most out of all of those. Because Halloween Town, it's a piece of shit like this, but at least like Halloween Town not looking the best, it's still like in an endearing way of like rubbery masks on the creatures.
Yeah.
All we get for Coventry is a bad CG castle and bad
The
CG
monster thing.
magic smoke shit.
Yeah, there's really not. They're witches. They're
Twitches.
Twitches.
Please,
That's the
stay on
Halloween.
brand.
That's the Halloween aspect.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah, there's nothing like fun and goofy like you were saying.
But just like after Halloween Town 1, I'm like, all right, well, I gotta look forward to the sequel.
The second one. So like I don't know. Maybe that's Disney. Follow the books. We got to finish the story.
No, the book series is like 10 books long.
Okay.
So I feel like there's going to be some divergence from the
They're
Twitches.
just combining everything.
Probably like the Cheetah Girls fans, the Twitches book fans, they're not going to be happy.
So, but like, I would assume that the movie did well enough for them to want to make a second one. So it must have been perceived, well. That was probably good.
Yeah, if you want to write us in and tell us that we're completely wrong about Twitches and that you were a huge Tia and Tamara fan, you can write us at awholenewpod@gmail.com. Before I forget, let's do Never Remember and discuss,
yes.
Could Alex and Cameron have prevented 9/11?
Maybe not. Like, they could have maybe dressed up the planes. Or they could have thrown
in a way, especially to Americans.
Darkness.
Is there no greater darkness
that's
than
true.
the Al-Qaeda terrorist
the
group?
darkness. They are good at darkness.
The power of love and most importantly, sisterly love.
To eliminate the darkness.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But actually, it's like they make it so the planes don't crash, but at the same time, like, they just disappear the plane. So it's like everybody on the plane still died. But, like, hey, they didn't crash.
It crashes into, like, a field in Coventry.
Yeah. And then that one cottage person comes out and said, "Oi! What is here? This is magical shit." Because they don't know that there's magic in Coventry.
No, they don't know.
So, all right, we ticked that box.
Yes.
Coming up on 20 years of 9/11.
Yeah.
So it's always relevant. I don't know, you got anything fun to bring up? This has been a shorter episode so far. You want to, as we talked about last episode, everybody loves Marvel. You've been watching some Marvel. I tried to ask you what your favorite movie was so far, and you couldn't tell me.
I can't decide.
Because Jacob's he's just in pain watching the Marvel movies to try to feel something else besides collarbone
Well, like I told you, I've been watching so much anime now.
Ooh.
My nasty anime.
Your Japanese anime and manga.
Yeah. But I don't know, what's been going on? My dad and I went to a wedding down in Iowa last week. A friend of mine online that I had never met in person. First time meeting her.
Dad?
Yeah, my dad was my hot date. Ricky was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Ricky was the hot date. We went down there, danced, had some fun with some of the people down there. It was a good time. It was fun. I'm just trying to,
Jacob's dad is quite the character.
Ricky.
I don't know. I think we kind of passed over your dad when we talked about Stewart Fest with Dustin a number of episodes ago. But
he just wants to be your friend.
Is your dad's real name Richard?
No, Ricky.
His name's just straight up Ricky.
Well, it's like Rick.
Okay.
He goes by Rick.
Okay, well that's still slightly interesting. Ricky Telejohn, when in Stewart, he becomes like a different persona.
He's like he's like the party monster. Likes to have fun.
In a way, like when Michael Scott put it on a do-rag, he becomes kind of Ricky Telejohn or Prison Mike style Ricky Telejohn, where he's at the street dances.
He's just having fun.
Getting a good time.
He just
maybe dancing a little too much, dancing a little too close to people. I don't want to say Telejohn's mom was in the background, like looking disapproving or anything. I'm not trying to.
He just likes to jam.
Cast any seeds of discord in the familial life of the Telejohn household.
He just tries to make Lucas's life bring a little bit of like happiness into Lucas's life, and he just doesn't want.
I am the darkness, and I say no. I will have no part of that. I will stand here miserably at Stewart Fest.
Try to make Lucas have a good time. He tries to talk to Lucas, whenever he sees him, and Lucas just like, "Fuck off, Ricky."
I know.
You guys have had good conversations.
Yeah, I talked to him.
Yeah.
I won't say I'm like, I can't wait for this conversation to end, but I'm that way. It's like when I'm at work, most of the people I work with, they're not my age, or if they are, I don't have similar interests.
He's just trying to relate to you.
It's like when my family asks me...
He can't talk about Evangelion.
Yo, I hear about this Evangelion. It's like when my extended members of my family is like, oh, you do a podcast about Disney movies? Have you covered Aladdin yet?
Yeah, I get that all the time.
No, it's Disney Channel original movies.
I get that all the time.
It's this millennial thing, but I actually didn't watch them growing up, so it's really not that important to me. But we do this podcast because we think people care about them, and they kind of do, but there's also a bunch of other podcasts that do it first. So it's like, did we have that great of an idea? Yes. We're
That's a
doing
great
it
idea.
best. As we said.
I think we are the best.
Though
Better than
before
all the
I'm like,
rest.
those other podcasts are too negative, and this is 3 movies in a row. I'm like, I hope I never watch another Disney Channel original movie.
Do we know what's next? We're looking forward to. Do you remember?
I do know what's next.
Tell me. I'll look it up.
No, you can't say.
I can't look it up?
No.
Oh, no.
We're going to finish the podcast, and we're going to
man.
leave them in suspense.
Oh.
Because it's a big one.
Oh, man.
So,
Oh, I think I know.
So
Okay.
find us on Apple
Okay.
Podcasts, rate us, review us, subscribe to us on there, as well as
Yes.
Google, Spotify, Stitcher. Jacob loves the YouTube. Find our videos, like, comment, subscribe.
Like every video.
I think
leave a
I actually
comment.
have it set up now that we do have enough subscribers. I think it's only like 100 or something that you need. But it's youtube.com/a-whole-new-pod.
You got
all
us
one
the tag.
word.
You got us
So,
the URL.
Yep, you can find us there to
Yes.
make it a little easier.
Cool.
To send that your friends' way, spread the word. That's how a lot of podcasts gets sent around there, especially when you don't have an active Twitter account to just like shit post on everything on the internet. So yeah, let the word be spread out there. And to leave you in suspense, we'll see you next time. And you know what? This podcast might never be the same.
Oh, my.
You, me, gas station. What are we getting for dinner? Sushi, of course. Uh-oh, there was a roofie inside of our gas station sushi. We black out and wake up in a sewer. We're surrounded by fish. Horny fish. You know what that means. Fish orgy. The stench draws in a bear. What do? We're gonna fight it. Bear fight? Bare-handed? Bear naked? Oh, yes, please. We befriend the bear after we beat it in a brawl. Then we ride it into a Chuck E. Cheese. Dance, dance, revolution. Revolution? Overthrow the government? I think so. Next thing you know, I'm reincarnated as Jesus Christ. Then I turn into a jet, fly into the sun, black out again, wake up, do a bump, white out, which I didn't know you could do. Then I smoked a joint, greened out, then I turned into the sun. Uh-oh, looks like the meth is kicking in.